What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. So I know this is more of a Fortnite related channel, but I really wanted to give this tip to you guys. In this video, I'm going to be telling you how I get good at basically any hobby that I ever try really fast. I'm not saying I get to a pro level or anything like that, but this is a way to go from absolute beginner to above average at so many different things in life. Before we hop into it, please consider using code JIVENTV in the Fortnite item shop, or at least make sure you're using somebody's code because it helps us out a ton. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so this is basically how I approach hobbies. First things first, you have to learn the absolute basics. So just watch a tutorial on what the game is or what the hobby is, how to get started, and learn those absolute fundamentals. So in Fortnite, that would be like learning your binds, learning how to do, 90s, learning aim, all that stuff. Once I get the basics down, I like to look up really advanced players in Fortnite or really advanced painters if I'm talking about painting. Whatever it is, I look up some people that are really good at it and I just watch them. This will expose you to some of the more advanced things that you may not have even known existed. So you see a Fortnite player doing crazy piece control and you're like, holy crap, so this is what the game is. So that's step 2. The third thing that I'll do is I'll pick out something that's so advanced in that hobby or game or whatever it is, and I'll practice and practice and practice that one super advanced move until I can do it perfectly every single time. And so the reason I do this is because when you practice something that's super advanced, it's going to make learning the more intermediate level things a lot easier. Let's say, for example, if you've seen one of my advanced high ground retake videos, you know that those retakes can be really difficult. So I would pick out one of those retakes when I was still like semi-beginner and struggle with it until I can nail it every single time. I remember I did this way back in the day in Fortnite, and it took me a few days to get the one retake down, but by the time I got it down, I went back to the really basic retakes that I struggled with, and I learned all those more intermediate beginner retakes 20 times faster because I had already struggled with one of the most complex things in the game. So it starts out with the basics, and then you watch a super advanced player or whatever it is and try to get a better understanding of the game and see those really advanced techniques in action. And then you just pick out one advanced technique, master it, and that's when you go back to the more intermediate beginner stuff and you can rapid fire through and learn the game way faster. So this technique works for me in almost every hobby that I've ever tried. I'm gonna throw out some examples. One example is painting. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen my paintings. If you haven't, I'll throw some on screen right now. So basically, when I was trying to learn how to paint, I did this whole entire strategy, right? I started out, I grabbed a paintbrush, I toyed around with it, tried to learn some of the basics, but then I went and looked at my favorite artist, Iris Scott. Here's some of her paintings. Obviously, she's just incredible at painting. And so in this situation, I didn't even look up tutorials. Instead, I just looked at her paintings and tried to imitate one of her paintings. I tried to copy the brush strokes, get that same texture that she uses. And by the end of it, I learned more about painting than I had learned in my entire Art 1 class in college. I found my style, I gained more control with the brush, I understood how to mix paints a little better. All because I stepped way out of my comfort zone, went for this super advanced painting right away, and I learned a bunch. So that's one example. Another example, I play piano. And so I used to take piano lessons, and we were learning all those super simple, boring piano songs from the beginner songbooks. And this is actually the first time I ever used this strategy. So I told my piano teacher, I was like, dude, this stuff is so boring. I want to try doing like some Beethoven. And so we go to Für Elise, one of Beethoven's biggest songs, super advanced, and I simply struggled with that for like 2 weeks while I was, 8 years old, and I mastered the entire song. I didn't even need to look at the book to play it. That's how much I mastered it. And by the time I learned that song, my piano skills were on another level. We had been going through those beginner books for probably a couple months at this point. And then we spend just like 2 or 3 weeks learning this super advanced song. And I gained about 10 times more skills in those 2 weeks than I did across the entire 3 months that we were just doing the beginner stuff. And that's when I realized that's what works for me for learning a hobby super fast, just doing that routine. Start with the basics and then learn something super advanced and then go back to the intermediate stuff. Few things I gotta clarify real quick is that first of all, you need to have the basics down really well to do this. If you barely have a grasp on the basics and you hop straight into these super advanced things, a lot of times you might not even ever be able to achieve it, or it may take like 5 times longer. But if you get the basics down first really well, it'll make your life a lot easier. And now the other thing to note is that getting pro at a hobby versus getting really good at a hobby is a whole different thing. So let's go back to the Fortnite analogy. If we're talking Fortnite, you learn a super advanced retake, go back, learn all the intermediate stuff. That's a good way to get really good at the game fast, but to get to a pro level, it takes months and months, maybe even years of grinding, learning every single advanced thing in the game, learning other players' techniques, how to counter them. Like, it's a whole nother thing going pro than getting really good at a game. This strategy is simply for getting above average fast. Just wanted to clarify that. And then obviously when it comes to like science or like being a surgeon, that it doesn't really apply to that. Imagine you're just like, listen, Jiven told me I need to skip to a heart surgery so that I can understand the basics a little bit better. That's exactly what I'm saying. Nah, but on the real, that's basically my strategy for getting good at anything I try to do as fast as possible. Like for example, in basketball, trying to learn super advanced dribbling techniques will make dribbling up and down way easier, or dribbling through the legs way easier. Or in Rocket League, trying to learn like triple backflip aerials to hit the ball out of the sky will make hitting the ball on the ground way easier to learn. Or in ping pong, learning some of the most advanced serving techniques will make regular serving way easier. It makes sense, but it may not work for everyone. This is just the technique that works really well for me. I hope these techniques help you out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want you guys to all do me a little favor and drop video ideas in the comments. I really like going through your comments and getting some inspiration from those ideas, so let me know what you want to see. It could be tutorials, it could be content ideas, it could be stories from my past, a little Q&A. Just drop your thoughts in the comments. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of this gameplay. I was popping off the other day. And of course, don't forget to check out the merch if you haven't already. Just so you guys know, I'm actually trying to do another merch drop before Christmas with a lot more items. I'm probably going to be sketching up a bunch of ideas and posting those sketches on Twitter and having you guys vote on which ones you want to see on the merch. So if you're not following the Twitter, you know what to do. Link in the description. Anyways, enjoy these highlights. Love you. Bye.